covering nearly the largest sectors of manufacturing. It deals with processed products. If I say processed, that means products that undergo industrial processes. So SON, the acronym, is not into agricultural products like the raw granite, raw beans are only. This one are handled by quarantine. We don't deal with food that is imported, finished food into the country. This one is handled by NAFDAC. Drugs and the like are handled by NAFDAC and NDLEA. And the military wares, those to do with arms, are dealt by another agency. So our own is restricted to industrially processed products. And we have two schemes. Locally manufactured products, that means products that are manufactured in Nigeria. And there are products that come into Nigeria from other countries. So for the locally manufactured products, we have what is called MANCAP. It's an acronym. It stands for Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, whereby all locally manufactured products have to be subjected to certain processes before they now get certificate for compliance. For those coming into Nigeria, there is what we call SONCAP. SONCAP stands for Standards Organization of Nigeria Conformity Assessment Program for those finished products coming into Nigeria. And for raw materials for industrial use that are coming into Nigeria, they undergo, they come through import permit. That means the manufacturer should be inspected to know exactly what the raw materials he needs for the production. We will know the quantity and the nature of the raw materials. So if he's bringing in the product, the raw materials, he comes through import permit. Somehow, due to certain policies, there are products restricted to ECOWAS member states under ETLS. So those ones also have certain difference. For the locally manufactured products, there is what is called MANCAP certificate. You see, it's just a sign of a flying eagle. For those that have this water, Mr. V can see the logo, and maybe the biscuits that was given, there was one that has our logo, that flying eagle with a number, and for those that are coming, you see SON with a tick under. So this is a sign that the product is coming from outside the country and is certified by SON. We know the quantity, we know who produced it, we know the quality of the product. But without such a sign, that logo, or bad. Product type certification. Product type certification. You as an importer or exporter, you may find for sale, for instance, and there is no any certification type certification. SON staff will now come and inspect, give certificate for that consignment. I have said product registration is for those coming into the country. Generally, SON as an organization, we have that is the standardization process. And we do carry out factory inspection. We go to factories, we inspect them, we carry out laboratory services. If you want to test your product, SON is there to assist you in carrying out your laboratory services. We carry out market surveys, make surveys to get information about what is obtainable in the market. We carry out trainings for marketers, for industrial experts and managerial activities on how best to carry out their activities at industrial or trade levels. At the border, we normally inspect products, either going out or coming in. What basically we do, we check documents. There are documents we need to see, and we need to see the compliance of those documents and in agreement with the content of the product. So we need to confirm that. Then we will sample the product and test it, the necessary immediate test and the laboratory test to confirm compliance of those products before export. And we do it in collaboration with other agencies during the examination. So we always witness the unsealing. That is when the seal is being, when the container or the truck is being opened, so that every agency will now see. And if it is using maybe container, our staff or our representatives will witness the sealing of the container, so that we know before the insertion of the items into the container, we know what that product is and the compliance of that product to our requirements. We now witness the sealing of the container before the container comes here for final examination to confirm that nothing has happened to the product, either during loading or on transit and during examination. Basically, there are 4 or 5 things we want to every product to conform. One is quality. Every product must meet the quality requirements for which it is meant for. Secondly, it must be safe. Yes, it may be qualitative, but not safe. But those two must be present. It must be qualitative, that all the parameters necessary for it to function well is there. Then it must be safe. By being safe, that means the item must be maybe hygienic from the health aspect. It must be safe use. It will not harm. Like if you are bringing in maybe local these toys for children, the varnishes or paint or whatever you use to furnish that, is it not harmful to the children, so that they will not you will not bring something that will harm them. Then the identity of the product. So there is no other name for other products. This one is a unique name. And this product must have the manufacturer name on it. The manufacturer's name and the full address of the company must be there. Because if you know the product but you don't know where it is produced, when there is any problem, you cannot trace it to the manufacturer. Who must be there to confirm to the end user that the product has met all. Then, you know, for every, if you are dealing in the quality products, certainly your business will prosper and will last long. But if you are dealing with substandard products, you may see it growing maybe temporarily, but at the end, it will be a loss to you. So generally, I don't know if somebody can, thank you very much. Can somebody tell me another name? This is the general one. Sometime it was changed. They added G to the name. Instead of tiger, it was now Tiger with double G. So the end user may not know that he's using a different product. And I passed my neighbor generator, this small one, the Tiger type. There was one we saw, the initial T was I. So it's double I-G-E-R. Eager. So you, the end user, may not know that you are using eager instead of tiger. So this is how some bad people go to cheat people. So the name should be correct. Then wrong packaging. You may have a good product, but the packaging can ruin everything. The food contact materials, is it suitable for the type of product? If it is food item, is the container food grade as well, so that it will not contaminate the content? Then absence of certification mark is also, if I'm not mistaken, they pay 50% of the charges. That is one. If they want to purchase standard, that one is also subsidized. If they at subsidized rate, also import and SONCAP are under subsidized rates. Then when apply with our government, we recommend it for financing. In our elaboration of standards, we include them. And currently now, there is a move to include guide notes in our standard because of the technicality in the standard. We want to be using a plain language now for our entrepreneurs to understand the content of the standard. This is so many. There's this some trucks are even obsolete or supposed to be off the road, but they are still being used. And a problem associated with overloading, the axle load, this is part of the marketers. Has been mention of a difference in currency, like this issue of change rates, exchange rates, poor transportation. But so there will be need for consideration. Then, particularly to do with things related to Standards Organization of Nigeria, there is not non-compliance of our products with the state standards. Hardly will you see products coming in or going out meeting, especially for the small scale, so meeting our standards. So you hardly see logo. So that means majority of what we see are suspected to be substandard. So for us, we need to at least comply with those requirements and for compliance. Then majority of the marketers and these small-scale manufacturers, they see standards are just problem to them because of the technicality in it. It's so scientific that ordinary market men and women cannot, so they don't, even if we invite them for elaboration, they don't seem to be participating fully. So we advise that they should be doing. Lastly, I have some recommendations for us all. We will have to institute standards as our main center for, because without standard, even our sitting here, it will just be a waste. So in everything there must be standard. So we need to abide by the standard. Then effective stakeholder engagement. If we are doing things, everybody, every stakeholder should be involved so that at least there will be general view of all. Enhancement of orientation. We need to reorient ourselves, train ourselves, pass information using all media possible. The SMEs should be partaking in all the activity, whether as group or as individuals. This one is necessary because without your input, laws will now be set against you if you are not careful. So you need to participate so that everything will now be discussed with you. Your inputs will now be recognized in the... yesterday I was told that there will be a new technical committee that will now be set for nearly for the nation and possibly Africa. And I was told that I will be part of them. So if such is now given, mostly it will be on something to do with food, possibly environment, all that. So you need to partake so that at least you know what that thing is and how you will now go with it. To market for, you need to ensure that they are certified. If you are buying certified products, the companies will be forced now to get their products certified. Then there is general GMP, that is good manufacturing process or good handling process. You, as the marketer, if you are not careful, the product may be good, but in handling, bad handling will now cause the product to fail at the end. So we need to adjust. Then adequate packaging. Sometimes you see the primary packaging is different from the secondary. You understand? The primary one, you are having a name, the secondary one not having, or vice versa. Or you see different name. You see A in the primary, B in the secondary. This one is an anomaly. Then finally, self-inspection. You don't need to look for a second party or third party to be inspecting you. You have to develop self-checking. You need to be checking yourself so that at least you go. Lastly, SON always say that if you see something unwholesome, say something to Standards Organization of Nigeria. Thank you for listening.
We all agree that we will close at 2:30 because supposed to go to 4, but we are not eating. Let's also try and make our submission short so that we all can be here. We have only 30 to 45 minutes so that we leave. I'm sure the lunch is coming and we're making arrangements for the lunch. So everything is done. It's left with the way forward. But we want to hear from our travelers, traders, so that all of us can look at the way forward. So Nigeria traders, if one person can speak or if you want to do both, then Benin traders, one can also speak. Any of you can speak first. So we can let the Benin people know. No, let it translate. Yeah. Oh, sorry, the translation.
Okay.
Sorry, very critical.
Okay, thank you, sir. Merci beaucoup.